So you're scouring YouTube and all over the internet to help you determine whether or not it's safe to move to Houston. Well, in this video, I'm going to cover my top 5 most frequently asked questions about what it is to live in Houston. And we're going to get after it right now. Let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Houston native Royce Isaac, the luxury boss with the Rolls Royce Luxury Living team right here in the Houston Metro. Today in this video, I'm going to discuss with you my top 5 most frequently asked questions that my clients ask me when relocating to the Houston area. Well, before I do that, if this is your first time visiting this channel and you want to know what it's like to work, play, live, eat, and sleep in the Houston area, then get started right now by subscribing to this channel. So click on that subscribe button and tap on that little bell, and that way you get notified every time we upload a new video. And guys, if you're even thinking about relocating to the Houston Metro, people are calling us each and every single day, days, nights, weekends. Me and my team, we just absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about relocating to the Houston Metro and you need some assistance, you want to hire a real estate firm that knows the city backwards and forwards, inside and out, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send an email, however you want to reach us. But just remember, when it comes to relocating to the Houston Metro, we've got you back. Now, without further ado, top 5. Number 1. Crime. I get asked this question so often, that is, Royce, what's the crime like in Houston? Is the crime really bad in Houston? Well, I'll tell you this, crime has no address. I don't care if you live in one of the most prestigious communities in Houston, such as River Oaks, or if you live in my old neck of the woods of South Park on the southeast side. It just doesn't matter. I will tell you, probably some neighborhoods you should stay away from, like South Park, Sunnyside, parts of 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, Acres Homes, Greens Point, or Guns Point, SWAT, things of that nature. Neighborhoods like that, you probably don't want to move your family there if you don't have to. But again, it has no address. You could be in the Galleria area, you could be in Sugarland, and definitely experience some type of petty theft or petty crime. So just always keep your head on a swivel. We are a open carry environment here in the Houston area and in the state of Texas. So if you're not registered to carry a gun, I highly recommend that you do so. Crime has no address, but there are some facts that you need to know about the crime in Houston, such as Houston ranks number 3 in most populous cities in the country with the most murders. So number 3, only behind cities like Baltimore and Chicago. I was very surprised when I learned of this, and I have a whole nother video right here where I can go a little bit more in depth with the stats around crime. So feel free to check out that video to give you some more information on what the crime is like here in Houston. Number 2, weather. What is the weather like? Is it always hot? Does it even snow? Do you guys always get hurricanes? Or I hear people say, Royce, I don't want to stay anywhere where there are going to be hurricanes, or I don't want to live anywhere where it floods. And just so you know, it doesn't flood each and every single day or every day during the summer, like some YouTubers you may see who are commenting on the city of Houston, who either have never lived here or have only lived here for a very short stint, or maybe so happen to live in a floodplain area when they moved here, and they probably should have hired a great realtor like myself, shameless plug, to help them determine where the best places were to live, where they wouldn't have to experience flooding. But unfortunately, you can't believe everything you see on the news. It does not flood everywhere. Houston has this thing called master plan communities, where the developers of that neighborhood actually designed the neighborhood not to flood. Now, nothing's perfect. Probably, I can't say never will never happen, but they almost never happen. Where if you live in a master plan community, you see a lot of lakes. You see some of my videos. You can check out this video right here where I talk about the Cypress area, where you see a lot of videos, or that one where it'll show areas of Iowa Colony, where you see they have master plan communities, and you see all the lakes and man-made lakes there. Well, for the aesthetics purposes, is there for serenity and help you relax. And recreational, you can go fish there and maybe kayak and things of that nature. But strategically, those man-made lakes in your neighborhoods, in those master plan communities, are there as retention ponds to prevent you or prevent the neighborhood from flooding. I can't go into the whole engineering of it, but I just know from living there and being a real estate agent, Those man-made lakes are there to prevent or help prevent the neighborhoods from flooding. So it does not flood everywhere, and it doesn't even have to be necessarily in a master plan community to be safe from flooding. It just doesn't flood every single day or every single year in Houston. Another thing about the hurricanes, you know, we've had 2 hurricanes this year in the Gulf at the same time. They went to Louisiana. Actually, Louisiana experiences a lot more hurricanes and flooding than the state of Texas or Houston combined. So it's not as bad as you may think it is, or what you may see reported. So take it from me, I wouldn't lie to you. I live here. I wouldn't live here. I'm a family man. If it was going to be flooding, we would have moved a long time ago. Just get with me and my team, and we'll definitely put you in a safe place where you don't necessarily have to be so concerned with flooding and hurricanes here. Question number 3 is diversity. And what my clients are really asking is, Royce, when I put my kids in a school there in Houston, are they going to experience a diverse culture in their classroom? Are their teachers going to look like them, or are their classmates going to look like them? Will they have exposure to other kids so that they can become more well-rounded and more grounded individuals? The answer is yes, depending on where you live. There are some areas and some school districts that are more diverse than others. But what I can tell you is the city of Houston as a whole, meaning the entire metropolitan area, it houses 7.7 million people. Houston proper, as recent as 2018, is home to 2.3 million residents. So we're the 4th most populous city in the country, which is anticipated to be the 3rd most populous city in the country by the mid-2020s. Number 4 is, Royce, what is the best suburban areas to live in? What's the best side of town to live in? Well, I can tell you, there are a number of areas to live in or to choose from. You have Sugarland, which is Southwest Houston. You have Katy, which is West Houston. You have Cypress, which is Northwest Houston. You have Tomball, which is further northwest. You have Spring, which is just 45 north, just head straight, dead smack in the center. And north of Spring is going to be the Woodlands. And even further than that is going to be Conroe. If you want to head maybe northeast, you have Kingwood, which is closer to Intercontinental Airport. If you go all the way east, you have Summerwood. Head southeast, you have Friendswood and League City. And then if you go south central, you have Pearland and maybe even Missouri City and Manville and Real Sharon. So there are a number of suburban areas to choose from in the Houston area. And we even have some up and coming ones. And I mentioned one already, which was Iowa Colony. But you also have on the west side, you have Firethorn, and you have Sealy area, or southwest, you have Richmond and Rosenberg. Those are, again, up and coming areas. I say that because they've been around for hundreds of years, but there's been, influx of new residential development going on in some of those areas. Again, Iowa Colony, Firethorn, Sealy, Texas, Richmond, and Rosenberg, Texas. So there's a number of areas to choose from. The best thing is to get with us and we find out where you're going to be working, whether you're going to be working remotely. What's the best areas to put you in, because we don't want you having to drive really more than 30 to 45 minutes away. Everyone comes to town a lot of times and think, oh, I don't mind driving an hour away. An hour drive wherever you are is not an hour drive like in Houston. We have the most cars on the road. It's very dangerous on the road here. So again, we have the most cars on the road than any other city in the country. So you don't necessarily want to say, I'm okay with making an hour drive if you don't have to. With all the options to choose from, we want to put you in an area, in a home that's relatively close to your house. When we meet you, we want to, do an analysis and find out all your needs, all your goals, help you find the best place in the best area, in the best community for you and your family. And the number one question that I get asked the most with my clients when they're relocating to the Houston area is, how much does it cost to own a home, or what's the cost of living here in Houston? Is it really as affordable as what I hear? And what they're really trying to find out is my dollar going to go further living in Houston versus where I live now? And I'll tell you, I get a lot of people calling me each and every day from New York, from Chicago, from parts of Cali, from Arizona, and from Florida. And so the answer is yes. Houston as well as the state of Texas, is very affordable here. The state of Texas, we do not have state income tax. We do have an 8.25% sales tax here. I have another video right here that goes over the cost of living in Houston, that'll go more in depth with that. But it is very affordable here. I think on a scale of 1 to where there's been a flat 100%, even on a grading scale, Houston ranks ranks 85% in home values here. So in other words, that translates to the average home price here in Houston is between $225,000 and $250,000, $225,000 and $250,000. Usually with a 3.5% FHA loan down on about somewhere around 3.25% to 3.5% interest rate, you're looking at about $1,900 to $2,100 a month on a home loan. That's going to cost you, again, somewhere between $225,000 and $250,000. So to kind of give you perspective, and that's with something around 3.3% tax rate. So if you move in an area with a lower tax rate on that same $250,000 house, and that'll give you anywhere between 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 to 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage, 1 or 2 story, may or may not have a pool in the backyard. Then you could look at somewhere closer to $1,750, $1,850 a month on that mortgage. So just to kind of give you some numbers out there to kind of give you an idea of what it could cost you on an average house here in Houston. We do have some homes that are more affordable, obviously, in the 140s, 150s, and above. But then, of course, we have a plethora of higher end homes. So we have something for everyone here: townhomes, patios, patio homes, condos, mansions, you name it, we have it. But you definitely do get more bang for your buck in terms of more house for your dollar living in the Houston area compared to most other areas of the country. Now, guys, next week, get with me. Be on the lookout for my next video where I'm going to be comparing the cost of living in California versus Texas. So we're going to be going over that next week. But in the meantime, if you want more information on any specific area or suburban area like Cypress or Pearland, Iowa Colony, then check out this video or that video, and that'll give you more information, or any of the other videos on the channel about what the cost of living is in Houston. And until next time, guys, take care, take charge, and I'll see you at the top. God bless.